Hello, and thank you for joining us for this data overview of Scoggins Middle School. My name is Selena Bentley, and I am a seventh grade English language arts teacher at Scoggins Middle School this year. I would like to start with thanking the administration at Scoggins Middle School for giving me the opportunity to complete this deep dive into our data. And the purpose of this data review is to present a summary of student achievement. Scoggins Middle School serves 6th, 7th, and 8th grades. Scoggins Middle School is located in Dallas, Georgia, which is in Paulding County, and located in West Georgia, just north of I-20. It was established in 2009, and according to the website, Scoggins embraces the determination required to be successful in all areas of life through a growth mindset and grit. Grit stands for goals, respect, integrity, and teamwork. Let's take a look at Scoggins demographics. Over the past couple of years, Scoggins has seen a significant increase in the enrollments, especially since COVID. In the 2021 to 2022 school year, there were 358 females, 373 males, for a total of 731 students. The following year, in 2022 to 2023, there was a total of 771 students, 395 females, and 376 males. In 2023 to 2024, there was a total enrollment of 777 students, 374 females, and we had an increase to 403 males. This school year, 2024 to 2025, we have a current enrollment of 809 students, and that is made up of 381 females and 440 males. We've seen a huge increase in our male population recently. Breaking these apart and looking at the races, it's obvious that the majority at Scoggins Middle School is the Caucasian group of students. A quarter the size of that is our Black population, and then we have Hispanic, multicultural, and then Asian and Native Americans as well. Looking at the vertical graphs, you can see that our culture in the school is gradually becoming a little more diverse. However, it's still an obvious minority grouping. In 2023, Scoggins had 16.7% of the population with disabilities, 46.6% was economically disadvantaged, and 4.3% was identified as English language learners. In 2024, those numbers increased a little, with 14.3% of the students being identified with disabilities, 48% of the students were identified as economically disadvantaged, and 9.3% of the students are English language learners. Looking at the teachers, there are 52 teachers at Scoggins Middle School. There are more female teachers than there are males, and it is a primarily Caucasian staff. The years of experience go from new teachers all the way up to ready to retire. A large portion of the teachers are in that 10 to 25 year range in their tenure. Moving into student achievement data in ELA, we can see that in 21 to 22 school year, Scoggins Middle School was close to what the Paulding County School District scored, just falling a little short of the district scores. 6th and 7th grade stayed consistent with one another, and then 8th grade outperformed both 6th and 7th grade with their students in levels 2, 3, and 4, and by having a lower percentage of students in level 1. Looking at the vertical graph, it is obvious that the 8th grade team did a much better job that year with their ELA, having fewer students in that level 1 category and having a higher number, even higher than the district, with their levels 2 through 4. However, when looking at their levels 3 to 4, they were just below the district. Moving on to the 22-23 school year, Scoggins had a significant drop in their scores. Their level 1s went up by 5%, and their levels 3 and 4 went down. The 8th grade team also had their scores in the levels 3 and 4 go down as well. The 6th and 7th grade were just under the county levels as well. So that was not the best year for Scoggins Middle School in comparison with the rest of Paulding County School District. Looking at the vertical graphs, it's obvious to see that the district had fewer level 1s, and it had an increase in its levels 2 through 4 that were higher than the scores of Scoggins Middle School. Looking at the 23-24 school year percentages from the GMAs, the Paulding County School District has been consistent over these 3 years that we've looked at, and Scoggins Middle School has started to come back up since their 22-23 scores. It's noticeable in the scores that 8th grade definitely made a comeback last school year. Their levels 2 through 4 even going 1% higher than 2 years prior. Their level 3s and 4s haven't quite caught up with the county level of 3s and 4s. However, the rest of the school did increase their number of level 3 students and level 4 students on the Georgia milestones. It's also important to note that all of the grade levels are gradually lowering their level 1 scores, and 8th grade had a significant decrease in those level 1 scores as well. Making observations in the data, if we look right over here at the vertical bar graph, you'll see that we're comparing the 3 school years across the whole school district. So the county has been pretty consistent through their past 3 years, barely making any changes with the exception of their level 4s gradually going down. And there's been an inconsistency in their level 1s. Moving on to the school level assessment data for Scoggins, and starting with the 6th grade Georgia milestone assessment scores over the course of 3 years, the one thing that stands out the most to me is that in the 22-23 school year, the level 4s went up significantly and then declined again in the 23-24 school year. It's also noticeable that the 23-24 school year had a higher level 1 group of students than it did in the previous 2 school years. Moving on to 7th grade, looking at this horizontal bar graph, it's easy to see that in the 22-23 school year, the numbers seem to be lower in the levels 3 and 4 and the overall levels for 2 through 4. The number of level 4s in that 22-23 school year is very minimal as compared to the 23-24 school year, where it seems to have gone up to about 8 students. Also, looking through the numbers, the level ones in that 22-23 school year are also at a higher number than they are in the other two school years that we're looking at. Moving on into the 8th grade Georgia Milestone Assessments, again, that 22-23 school year seemed to be a bit of a struggle. That's a year they seem to have had a higher number of level 1 students as well as a lower number of the total levels 2 through 4 students and the levels 3 through 4 students. They did have an increase in their level 4 students for the 23-24 school year, and they had an increase in their overall student numbers that were in the levels 2 through 4. So they've started working on that, increasing the lower group from the level 1s and pushing them on into the 2s, and also increasing those 2s and pushing them into the 3s and 4s. Moving into the 2024 subgroups of the 7th grade English Language Arts GMAs, we're going to start with the economically disadvantaged students. The population of these students, the numbers are closer together than they are in some of the other groups, but they have a larger percentage of the population that are at a level 1, and but majority of the population is at a 2, 3, or 4. When we look up at our English language learners, majority of their population is at a level 1, meaning they're not passing the English language arts assessment that is required for 7th grade students. We have 28% of the students who are getting a level 2 or a level 3, and that's just 4% that are actually on grade level with that level 3. Looking at the ESEP population from 7th grade last year, majority of this population is also at 68%, which is the majority of the group of students being served. They do have a higher percentage of students who are in the levels 2, 3, and even 1% in the level 4. So that puts us at 32% in levels 2, 3, and 4. Moving into the 2024 subgroups of the 7th grade English Language Arts GMAs, we're going to start with the economically disadvantaged students. The population. So, what can we do better to support the students at Scoggins Middle School? What can we do to shrink the red and grow the blue? What can we do to help those scores go higher and higher? What can we do to support our subgroups, to help our students feel successful, be successful, and just embrace success?